budget cuts have got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho. These budget cuts have got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho. These budget cuts have got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho. These budget cuts have got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho. These budget cuts have got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho. These budget cuts have got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho. These budget cuts have got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho. These budget cuts have got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho.
I want to welcome everybody. To the Austerity Breakfast at Tiffany's. I'm Michael Stoller, the Executive Director of the Services Council, and we're here today to thank wealthy New Yorkers who support the continuation of New York State's millionaire's tax that maintains critical human services for people in need. Just a little context, 3 million New Yorkers are living below the poverty rate, the highest level in 12 years. 2.5 million New Yorkers suffer from hunger. That means they can't put food on the table to feed themselves and their families. These statistics are not from a third world country. They're from here, they're from New York. These are your neighbors, your friends, your co-workers, and possibly you. On December 31st, New Year's Eve, wealthy New Yorkers will be given a $5 billion tax break to end the millionaire tax. That amounts to $20,000 per million. And these tax breaks are about the same price as a luxury good, like the expensive jewelry you can buy here in about an hour. I want to welcome to our Austerity Breakfast at Tiffany's Holly Golightly, you may recall from the book and the movie, to symbolically exchange her jewels for meals to those who need. Holly?
Network of New York State, I thank Holly Golightly. This $25,000 tennis bracelet will make 2,000 food packages for unemployed New Yorkers whose unemployment benefits have run out, so that they can feed their families.
Thank you. On behalf of Coalition for the Homeless, thank you for this $7,000 watch, which could provide 3,500 emergency meals to homeless men and women living in the streets.
What we're trying to show here is rather than support relatively inconsequential tax breaks for the wealthy, isn't it more important to supply basic needs to our friends, our neighbors, and all New Yorkers? I'd like to introduce now the Executive Director of New Yorkers for Fiscal Fairness, Ron Dorks.
Hi everybody. I want to thank everybody for coming here today. I particularly want to thank many upper income New Yorkers who back in March have signed on to a letter to Governor Cuomo and legislative leaders basically saying that they value the quality of life in New York State very much and in New York City, and they want to see that continue. They want to make sure that when we have a time period of record hunger, record homelessness, that everybody is being asked to sacrifice. And right now we have basically an income tax surcharge in place since 2009 that's going to expire on December 31st. And that's going to result in a loss of about $5 billion to our state's treasury. So many New Yorkers, many wealthy New Yorkers support the extension of this surcharge because they believe it's the right thing to do, and they believe that it's not a hardship on their lives at all. So we're lucky enough to have two folks with us here today that have signed on to this letter and have been working for Better New York for a very long time. So first up, let me introduce Bill Samuels, someone who's no stranger to politics. He's a successful businessman and CEO, an entrepreneur. and founder of the New Roosevelt Initiative, and he's been a great supporter of moving this surcharge forward and continuing. So I'd like to introduce Bill Samuels.
Over the last few years, many New Yorkers who make over $1 million have been perfectly happy with the current tax structure. Our Republican-leaning governor has decided to give someone who makes $2 million a tax cut in January, so they'll only make $1,940,000. Governor Cuomo is on the wrong side of history. He's going down a track like Wisconsin and Ohio. Dead wrong. For us in New York, the most progressive state, the state that we want to have the best jobs in, the best jobs these workers dream here because it's a great environment, is not being led properly by Albany. To reduce taxes on those that earn over $1 million now, not only is wrong, but most of us, I'm telling you, most of us aren't for it. We'd rather have good schools and we'd rather not have layoffs of our workers. 90% of our employees are workers. They will leave here and go somewhere else. So it's a total lack of leadership by Cuomo. I call on him to change his mind. He's on the wrong side of history.
Thank you, Bill. Next up, I'd like to introduce another native New Yorker who's been very supportive of this cause. Her name is Sarah Stranahan, and she's a working mother of 3. She's been a longtime advocate for economic justice and progressive tax reform. She worked to extend the estate tax with Responsible Wealth, which is an organization out of Boston that's been doing much of this work for a very long time. She is supporting the Buffett rule at the national level and supports the extension of the millionaire's tax at the state level as well. She's a board member of the Need More Fund, so she knows something about the needs in our communities and our city. So I'd like to introduce you right now, Sarah Stranahan.
Thank you very much. As a mother of 3, I believe in a healthy breakfast for all kids in our state. As a wealthy individual, I can afford to pay a little more so that millions of New Yorkers don't have to go hungry. Extending the personal income tax makes sense for our state. We need to get through these hard times together. The personal income tax raises 25% of the revenues that we need to close our budget gap. So, trust me, this tax will not hurt the wealthy. There's still going to be shopping here at Tiffany. Where's Newt? Where's Newt? I have my eye on something there. Please, extend the personal income tax. We can afford to pay this tax.
Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you.
So next up, we're going to have one of the organizers of this effort is Michael King from Strong Economy for All.
Very happy to be here with Bill Samuels and Susan Stranahan and Holly Golightly to talk about the fundamental unfairness of giving a huge tax cut to the richest New Yorkers while we're cutting schools, human services, and survival programs for homeless kids. You've heard it here and you've heard it clearly. Wealthy people in New York City do not need more bracelets, watches, and rings. But hungry people in the Bronx need more hot meals. Kids in Bed-Stuy need better schools. We're happy that there is support from the 1% and from the 99%. And we hope that Governor Cuomo will hear this message loud and clear. We hope that the legislators in Albany will hear this message loud and clear. It's time to restore the budget cuts, stop the tax break for the very rich. We don't need no more baubles from Tiffany's.
Yes.
We need more human services in our communities in need. Thank you.
Thank you for coming, and we'll see you again soon.
Extend the millionaire's tax! Extend the millionaire's tax! Extend the millionaire's tax! Extend the millionaire's tax!